Alright, everybody, this is Souls44, then welcome back to Galactic Chickens. I don't know what episode it is, 30-somethings in there. And we're going to cover today a little bit of, oh, look at this. Yeah, violence. We're going to cover a little bit of compact machines, and I'm going to make it really simple, and hopefully it's easy to follow and you can do it yourself. I won't be using it on the server, because on the server, I don't know. There's rumors that you'll lose items and whatnot from, well, maybe, probably not. I don't know. We'll see. The compact machines is basically like creating your own dimension. And on the server so far, we've said, you know what, go for it, make it, have fun. There are some glitches and things that can come about of it. And yeah, well, we'll figure this out. But I'm going to make this a really quick video. Like, this is going to be the quickest video I've made so far, probably. But I wanted to cover it real quick. Let me clear out an area here so I can have room. So in order to do compact machines, let's do @compact. All right, I have this right here. We know what this is. Us older generation know what this item is. It's a personal shrinking device, right? Yes. Made by a gaming system that starts with an N. In any case, they used to put a little cartridge in there and you could go into your own little world and play a game. It was super fun, right? Especially a certain game where you throw little capture balls at creatures, and yeah, you got it. Anyway, you're going to want to create 2 of them. And the reason for that is you also have to create these, and it's going to use your personal shrinking device to create them. You get 4 of them. You need 4 in order for them to, like, create a field. And within that field, then you're going to be building and using the compact machine walls. And those compact machine walls can allow you to build these devices. And these are basically going to be shrunk down. So you're making like a model of another dimension, and then you're using the material here to create that model, and then it'll get shrunk down when you throw, in this case, an ender pearl. So you're going to create a 3x3x3 cube. It'll create the tiny one. A 3x3x3 again with a block of iron in the middle. We'll create a small. The normal will be a 3x3x3 block gold. Boom. Large 5x5x5. It takes 96. That's pretty big. The giant, which is huge. Now this block of diamond goes in the center. What I mean by the center is it has to be floating in the center. That's the trick. You have to make the box 5x5x5. So 5 long, 5 wide, 5 tall cube. And then in the very center, you will float that block of diamond and then step outside and throw it. And then there's the maximum, which is going to take 98 of these. So first thing we're going to do is create the compact machine walls to make that happen. Oh, and then there's also tunnels. These tunnels let you access the world from inside to outside. So you can create a giant system of things like Britannia inside this maximum compact machine, and then have the items that are generated from it through the tunnel. What I like to do is just go ahead and put one of these network transmitter receivers inside with refined storage, and then boom, you got a whole world accessible inside of another dimension. Now I've already placed down, and I'm using titanium just because I have a bunch of it and not a whole lot of uses at the moment for it. Plus I wanted to see what it looked like. It looks kind of cool. I made them 6 tall and then placed 1 miniature field projector on top. I will show you. I'm going to go ahead and break them and then show you how to know where to place them, because they kind of tell you where to go. I always go the farthest distance because I want to be able to make the largest machine. And what I mean by that is you have to have enough room. The field has to cover the whole thing. So as you go to sit it down, you'll see this arrow. I'm going to have it facing inward. If you don't face it the right direction, it won't work. Plus, or well, you also have a crescent hammer or whatever, you can rotate it, I think. Yeah. But I always have them facing inward, and then right with the other one, you can right click on it and it'll give you arrows for a few seconds. As you can see, this arrow is pointing at this block. I'm having it face that way. And there's another arrow. And it faces this way. Oh, it faces the wrong way, so it's not going to work. So let's turn it. And then this one is going to do the same thing. And I'm going to choose the farthest arrow. They have to be on the same Y level, meaning they have to be the same height. So I know that's going to be 1. Just the first one is basically the dirt block, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I did this right, we should get a field. All right, we now have a field, and we unfortunately also don't have a flat area to completely work with. Let's go ahead and grab some dirt and just fill that in real quick. Now, I believe you don't have to be in the center of this field for this stuff to work. It just has to be within the field, the shrinking area. Anyone's familiar with movies where they shrink stuff, there's always some kind of field created, and I guess that's kind of the idea. This is at compact machines again. I wish I could fix that so it's stuck around. There's no stick around option. Compact machine wall. It's a block of iron with redstone on top. And then I throw redstone in the field. I'm guessing this is how to do it, if I remember right. These are actually kind of complicated, and that's another reason why I don't even bother. But, you know, I digress. So a block of steel, or a block of iron, redstone on top, and then throw 1 by 2 by 1. Well, let's just try it out. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh, compacting drawers are awesome. Where did I get those? I don't know. I'll have to strip those of their. So let's try doing it like this. I need redstone too, don't I? Regular redstone. And says place that, and then just throw it. Yep. So anywhere on the side, as long as this field, and then bam, 16. So as long as I have something throwing, yeah, I think you're going to get the idea of what I'm doing here. Let's try and do it on this corner. Yep, it works. So that means that as long as I put a placer down, I can automatically craft this with a collector. Absorption hopper, vacuum chest, something to that effect. Yeah, I could automate this. I could easily automate this. At least this part. I'd have to make a builder. Actually, I could do a builder. So you get the idea. We're going to have to come back. I've got some business that just came up. I apologize for the break in the video, but I have to get it taken care of. So if you don't mind, I will catch you back in a little bit. We're going to continue to make a bunch of this. We're going to make a bunch because we're going to make the biggest one. The biggest one's probably the best one to make. I guess you can you just keep on? Yeah. I don't know what the speed of this is, so it's got to be, I don't know. It's not too bad. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I didn't catch that last one, if you noticed. So anyway, this is Solus44. I will be back shortly, and once I get this whole thing set up, I think. So, a previous episode, I went ahead and I created the compact machine field projectors, which created this really big projector. I guess I didn't really need it to be this big, because if you look down here, I already have a maximum size compact machine, and that actually wasn't that hard to do. So you can lock players in and out, and you can name it, and you can actually, if you just have a personal shrinking device, you can just do that, and then you shift right click with the personal shrinking device in the corner, and that's where you're going to come into, so make sure you don't put anything there. I decided to go ahead and put a network receiver inside this compact machine. This is an alternate dimension, and if it's an alternate dimension, it may not chunk load or it may not stay active. The chunks probably unload from the system or the memory when you leave. I don't know for sure. I went ahead and ran blocks of coal with this exporter here into the side of this coal coke oven. If you haven't seen, I'm going to cover this. This is immersive engineering. I'm going to go ahead and do immersive engineering for everybody because it's something that I didn't do on the server so much, and I want to make sure that everybody on the server gets a chance to kind of see how to do it from scratch. And this is the very first machine you're going to make for immersive engineering. It's not really a machine, but it produces coal coke out this side into this apparatus piece right here. It also produces creosote oil, and then you can collect that in the tank or you can import it. And I'll cover that in another video. Let's continue the compact machine tutorial-ish kind of thing. So you just right click on the compact machine wall anywhere. Oh, I'm better asleep. And it will teleport you inside. So let's go ahead and automate the making of the machine walls and see if I can do this, because I've actually been testing. If you haven't noticed, there's some cutout pieces, there's a crafter, but I want to show you how I'm going to do it. I think this will work. I'm not 100% sure. I do know this. Originally I saw that you could place a auto placer right next to it, but if you notice, the field went away. And I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it destroys the ability to craft that compact machine walls. But I kind of found a workaround. And let me show you how to do that. If you place it underneath, the field doesn't go away. And so, like anything where you're going to be doing multiple items for a craft, for an auto craft, you're going to want to put a chest or a crate or something on top of your crafter, so that your crafter can send those multiple items of different kinds into a chest. I could use a chest. I could even do this remotely, I guess. If I wanted to be real fancy, I could put this crafter over there with my machines. Instead, I went ahead and built a setup over here. I also created some farming stuff. As you can see, I placed farmers just to kind of utilize the already built farmland over there at the village. I'm going to put my immersive engineering in a compact machine a little bit, but I want to put the rest of it inside the village. I think I'm going to, that's kind of the idea. These are rustic looking buildings. They've always looked rustic to me anyway, so I want to go ahead and advance these guys up and get them into the the steel age. Okay, I'm just going to turn them into the steel age, which means there's going to be wires hanging down and like telephone poles, that kind of thing. Windmills, just something to make it look pretty. Maybe repopulate up a little bit the area, that kind of thing. So let's quit digressing, right? We're going to put a chest right here. I'm going to put a chest so that way it can export items out of this crafter into this chest and into this auto placer. Now, this auto placer, as you can tell, watch this. Boom! It can place a block of iron, and it didn't interrupt the field. And in fact, if you get to, if you right-click on one of these, it says no valid recipe found. Watch this. And I just found this out. So now that I have the redstone on top of the block of iron, and you right-click this, it's going to show you recipe for 16 compact machine wall. So you can make 16 at a time. I don't recommend trying to make more than that unless you have multiple field generators. I was tempted to make like 2 of these compact machine deals, one of them really small and just handle this process. That way I could do 2 things at once, but I'm really going to be kind of lazy about it, just because once you get the idea, I mean, how many of these machines do I want? I really only want 1, maybe 2, maximum maybe 3. I mean, really, 3 of them. I'm not even going to do that many. I don't use them that much, but they are useful and people like them, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I make them. So the recipe for it is a block of iron with redstone placed on top of it. Now, if you might not have seen or recognized by now, we're going to run into a problem. Let me get some dirt just real quick. And we're going to have a problem because I can't place a automatic placer on the top of this. But I did find out a way, or figure out a way to make it work, and that is with this phantom placer. So, as you can tell, it's going to kill this, right? So I can't place anything there. I also can't, the moment I do that, it's going to mess up, right? So I can't have a placer. Normally I would put an auto placer here, put some redstone in it, and then I would just tell this this auto placer to, this auto placer here to place the redstone on top, but it messes up the field. So how else could I do this? And I was thinking, you know what, I have these phantom placers from Actually Additions, and basically what they do is they turn any block into a placer. Yeah, that's super cool. In fact, I think that's actually something I've never done much. Now, it only has a range of 3, but that's fine. This iron block is now going to become a placer. Yep. It actually, what it does is it says this space where this block occupies becomes a placer. And this has a user interface, and you can change which side it places from. So if I place it for up and I put redstone inside, it has nothing connected right now. And I use this phantom connector. I'm going to say connect to this, shift right click. Now it stores that block space. Okay, it doesn't store the block, it stores the block space. I'm going to make that clear. Whatever item gets placed in this block becomes a placer, which is amazing. That the implications of that. Boom. There you go. It placed the redstone that was inside this top slot up here. Now, I can handle this 2 ways. I can either have the crafter constantly, or just one single redstone at a time, or I can have it just be filled with redstone and then just waiting for this block. Because as soon as an ender pearl gets thrown into this group here, it's going to do this. Let me go ahead and throw one. Right? Is it red? Wait, let me check. Let me check. Compact machine wall. Is it a pearl? What is it? I can't forget. Oh no. Oh no. Compact machine walls. Click it. Oh, it's redstone dust. Okay, so redstone dust. I'm a derp. Pearls are for the next one. So as soon as it throws, this will place. So there's 16 compact machine walls, right? So there you go. And then, like I said, you could do this in a very small area, and it could be a lot faster. I think it's a lot faster if it's smaller, but I'm not sure. And like I said, I'm not going to do this a lot, but let's go ahead and connect these together. I'm going to use item conduits. I'm going to do a video before I continue on too much farther about item conduits and how they work. I know that's weird, but I think it's something that people might want. There's kind of a consensus on how they work and what you can do with them for EnderIO, and I know there's plenty of videos out there. I mean, plenty of videos out there, but none recently. And that's not too conducive to helping people get what they want, especially if they're just starting off for modded Minecraft. So I'm going to cover these EnderIOs. I love EnderIO. You could use anything, I suppose. But what we're going to do is this. We're going to right-click on the extraction. Okay, so you right-click on the little base. When it looks like this, it's a little base. Or you could shift left-click with a hammer. Make sure you're holding shift, and you left-click with the hammer, which is basically a wrench, or a Yeta wrench. And it's going to ask you which one of these bases right here you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to shift left-click here, and I'm going to say the base that's on the south side, which is connected to that chest. And what I want it to do is extract all the time. From here, you can choose a color. You can choose any color you want. There's quite a lot. And this is actually because if you wanted to have to go to different places, you can use the same piece to go to different colors. And whatever matches up with that color is what it's going to affect. So I'm going to have it affect green because that's the default color. And then you can also do round robin. Round robin, what that means, if people don't know what that means, is it's going to choose the first one, then the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one of the same color as your default color or whatever color you choose. So if you had 6 items connected to the green channel, if you clicked round robin, the first one in line would be the first, then second, third, fourth, etc. Otherwise, it's going to be different. It could be just only to the first one. Okay? I'm not worried about that because we're going to be filtering. We're going to be filtering. Okay? Because we're equal distance away, it would have a hard time doing round robin, and I don't know which direction it would start with. So then you also have a self-feed. Self-feeding is different than what I'm used to looking at. I don't know if it's actually necessary to be used. I'd cover that in a total different video. You can also use insertion. So if I have extraction on green and I have insertion, I need to use that different color. Okay? And we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and change that to brown. And I'll explain why here in just a moment. Now, the input or going into this auto placer, we're going to be looking at this base. So let's go ahead and see this place here. It's going to be green. Okay. And then we're going to use a filter. These filters have a small amount of capacity. Once you place them inside, you can hold on to them. You can click the little gear. The gear will open up a graphical user interface or a GUI. And then inside there, you can tell it to whitelist or blacklist. Whitelist, what that means is allow these items. With nothing in the whitelist on an EnderIO, it will actually continually still allow everything to go through. You have to set up something, anything. The moment I place that item in there, only dirt will get put in there. Alright? Did it get dark already again? Alright, there we go. So now, if I was to put dirt in this chest, it would go into the range collector, and it would go into the auto placer. But what we want to do is say that this only takes blocks of iron. Okay? So I'm going to type in iron, and blocks of iron is what you need. You must be blocks of iron. So I'm going to place block of iron. Now, if I put this as blacklist, it would prevent blocks of iron from going in. So anything in this list of blacklisted items, it cannot go. Now this button here says match metadata. Metadata is information about a block inside the system that distinguishes it from other items. In other words, if you were to have a sword, let's say, or for instance, 2 exact swords like this that were exactly the same, 100% everything was the same, except for I used it one time and it had a durability decrease. If you notice at the top it says 3474 out of or over 3920. Because it has a different durability, it then has metadata that is different than the other item. So if they would be distinguishable by that metadata. If you take this metadata off, it means it's not going to look at that. It's just going to look at the main name. In other words, Draconium Terrasteel Cleaver, and any Draconium Terrasteel Cleavers will get blacklisted from going inside of that item that it's attached to. Okay, I hope that's not too fast. Now there's another slot here called a function upgrade, in which you can add speed upgrades or speed downgrades, which, believe it or not, I've used both. And you can also add other different types of functions that take place, but we're not gonna go into the more advanced levels of that. And to be honest with you, they're hardly ever really used by me anyway. So right now we're gonna go to insert. Oops, make sure you put that in insert. I'm a derp. Okay, so insert only that, and then we're going to whitelist. Okay, whitelist only blocks of iron. Now this one here, we're going to do the same thing, except for we're going to do a filter on the insert, and we're going to make sure that it whitelists redstone. So redstone is the only thing that's going to go inside this placer. I hope that's clear. Okay, and it doesn't matter about the metadata because there's no metadata on that. And I always turn this to redstone always active, even though it doesn't really affect anything. It's just a habit type thing. Now, so just to be certain that it works, let's test it out. There you go. So this auto placer, this auto placer, this phantom placer, automatically changes whatever block is occupying this space into a placer, and it placed the iron or the redstone that was on it. Now I could put another type of item in there just so you can see. It should place a block of dirt. There you go. So therefore I could use that for all kinds of creative ideas. It's really, really cool. And it's highly underused by people in the YT community, the YouTube community. I think it's super underused. All right, so we got that part down. We got the placing part. Now we just need something that can drop a thing of redstone, and it doesn't. Here's the issue there. Look, right? It's broke. Let's see if we can go ahead and place it here and see what happens when I put there. It pops into the field. So if it pops in the field, it should work. So here's where I'm going to run across an issue, I think. Let's see. Nope. Kind of sloppy, but it worked. I was wondering if it was going to place, it was just going to stuff 2 redstone into here, but I'm assuming that the conduit was smart enough to put it into the first one, then this. Oh, I see. Well, that's a bad assumption. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. So we're going to go insert. All right, and we're going to do priority again. We're going to increase priority. I think that's what we're going to do. So this is going to have a priority. No, we better not do that, because then every bit of redstone is going to go in here. Well, maybe we will use the round robin. Let's try that. Let's do extract round robin and see if this functions like we think it should. And we're going to end up with so many compact machine walls that we're not really going to use, but I'm going to show you how to do the, I think I got time. I better do it quick though. So let's see what happens. There we go. All right, so we've automated, as far as I'm concerned, we've automated this. All right, so we need to set up a pattern real quick. I have already set up a craft manager here. I've already set up the pattern. And so the pattern is actually going to be 2 of these, right? Because it's going to insert 2 into the chest and then 1 of the blocks of iron into the chest. And that should output a compact machine wall. Now we're going to need a way to collect that up. Here we go, range collector. One of my favorites. You don't have to use a range collector. You can use other collectors and then just, actually, yeah, let's do that. I don't even need to worry about the insert on brown on that one. I'm just going to use a range collector and get this picked up. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it that way. So I just got a really neat idea just so I can demonstrate these items. So the range collector works very similar as the EnderIO. It has a whitelist, metadata, NBT, or dictionary, and mod. I don't use this too well. There's issues I've had with these. But what we're going to do is whitelist compact machines. We don't want it to pick up anything except for the compact machines, because otherwise it's going to throw, whenever that redstone is dropped into this field, it's going to pick up that, and then it'll probably destroy that quest and mess it all up. So we just want it to pick up only compact machines. Now that's going to work. It's going to go, whoop, right? And then it's going to pick it up and put it inside itself. Now we want it to go from there. Oh, no. We don't want anything to do with that. If you unclick these, it goes away. Notice there's no longer a base. Well, we want it to extract. We don't want things to go inside of it. So we're going to have it extract on that channel. Remember brown, we set up brown. And then you extract, always active. So now This chest is going to have the insert channel checked on it. And if you look real quick, you'll see it looks like a little brown arrow. So it'll only interact with the things on the same color channel. So what does that mean? Well, that means that the compact machine walls should, if I put them inside here, flow into this chest. Fantastic. So it just cycles the stuff in, and this is a small machine on its own. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Well, we're going to do an import because we want the final product to go inside the grid, and we're going to import. Well, inside the importer is also a similar thing. We have items or fluids, blacklist or whitelist, MBT data, damage, right? Those kind of things, right? Now, inside of here, everything is going to go shoop if you leave it on blacklist, because blacklist with the empty filter means there's nothing being stopped from coming in. Now, I type in compact machine wall. I should have some good amount of compact machine wall. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to whitelist the compact machine wall. That means the only thing that we want this thing to pull in right now from this chest are these compact machine walls. Anything else should just sit there because everything else has a filter on it. And it does. Still 36 dirt. Redstone, I put redstone in it, it's going to go into here, and it's going to go into here. Now, the pattern, as we put, is right here. I've already kind of made that pattern. Let's go ahead and go 2, and then there. So that's going to tell the machine, hey, if you put these two in here, these two items in here, you're going to get this output. Now I'm going to place that inside the crafter. This is the crafter right here. I'm just going to manually place that inside there. And now this crafter knows what to do to create compact machine walls. So let's go ahead and test it. Let's test it out. I think we're ready to go.